When a woman starts pulling away and you respond by chasing after her, you're only pushing her further away. Once you start chasing, she's likely not even going to look back. In this discussion, I'll break down why women pull away, how you should handle it, and the common mistakes men make when this happens. The situation is frustrating for many guys, and I see it happen repeatedly with my clients. Things start off great. She's into you, texting flirty messages in the middle of the day, always available when you ask her out, and even talking like there's a future between you. She's mentioning events months down the line, and you're thinking this could really turn into something. Then suddenly, things shift. She becomes a little distant when you're together. Her texts slow down and lose their flirtatious vibe, and she's less responsive when you try to make plans. You can almost hear the excuses forming in her head as she tells you she's busy with something completely random. And you're left wondering, what happened? Why is she pulling away? Now, I want to highlight some key behaviors that contribute to this shift. These are actions men unknowingly make that actually drive her further away even before she starts pulling back, as well as the actions taken afterward that seal the deal and push her out the door. These mistakes are subtle but powerful, and I want to explain why they're so destructive. Even if she was genuinely interested and saw potential with you, making these errors will make her lose interest fast. It's important to realize that often, when she initially begins to pull back, it's a test. Not a deliberate one, but more of a subconscious way of gauging how you'll respond. She wants to see if you're truly as confident and cool as you seemed at first. The way you handle her pulling away reveals your true nature in her eyes. And unfortunately, a lot of guys fail this test. Let's get into the mistakes guys usually make when women pull back. Number 1, confessing feelings. The first major mistake men often make when a woman pulls away is confessing their feelings. There's this belief that if she only knew how you felt, she'd stay. The thought is maybe you weren't clear enough about how much you liked her, and that's why she's pulling back. But here's the reality. Uncertainty is what keeps a woman intrigued. If she's unsure where she stands with you, she's more likely to stay engaged, wanting to figure things out. On the other hand, when she senses that you're fully invested, it can feel overwhelming. She may pull back slightly just to catch her breath, questioning if she's really ready for things to move forward. Instead of giving her space to reflect, most men make the mistake of doubling down, confessing their feelings and pushing harder for validation. That little bit of breathing room she needed, it turns into her needing even more space, feeling smothered. By revealing how much you like her, you've effectively made the decision for her. All she wanted was a moment to consider where things were headed. But now you've added pressure by expressing your deep feelings and talking about the future. That often triggers her to put the brakes on and reconsider things entirely. Confessing your feelings in this situation isn't just unnecessary. It's counterproductive. It's never the reason she's pulling away. Unless you're juggling multiple women and she's genuinely unsure of your intentions, her pulling back has nothing to do with her doubting your seriousness. I can promise you that. Number 2, apologizing and explaining. The second big mistake men often make when a woman pulls away is apologizing or explaining themselves. I see this with clients frequently. They'll send me their text exchanges with the woman, hoping to pinpoint where things went wrong. Often they fixate on a small misstep. Like, maybe she wanted to hang out one night, but instead he went out with his friends. A week later, she starts pulling away, and suddenly, he's convinced that must be the reason. We tend to play detective, searching for any mistake we might have made. In this case, the guy might think, oh, I should have hung out with her instead of going to the baseball game with my friends, and then sends a message saying, sorry I didn't hang out with you last week. I really wanted to, but he believes that if he explains or apologizes, she'll see him in a better light and change her mind. But here's the issue. Apologizing or explaining when you've done nothing truly wrong makes you seem weak in her eyes. I've had clients go as far as sending multiple texts apologizing for something trivial, like a poorly delivered joke. In one case, a client sent 13 texts apologizing for a joke that wasn't even offensive. This kind of behavior not only erodes attraction, but also makes you appear insecure and desperate. When you apologize or over-explain yourself for things that aren't even bad, you signal weakness and uncertainty, which kills any attraction she might have felt. There's rarely a need to apologize unless you've done something seriously wrong, like being disrespectful or hurtful. Otherwise, by trying to fix something that wasn't even an issue, you're actually pushing her further away. The real problem isn't the small mistake you're obsessing over. The attraction fades when she senses you're losing your composure and trying too hard to win her back. Number 3. Win her back with gifts. Another common mistake men make when a woman pulls away is trying to win her back with a gift. It's surprising how many guys resort to this, thinking that a gift will reignite her interest. I always tell my clients, don't send flowers or any gifts, especially if you've only been dating for a short time and you sense she's pulling away. Sure, sending flowers might be appropriate in a long-term relationship or marriage, but in the early stages, particularly when she's distancing herself, a gift only adds pressure. Just like confessing your feelings, giving her something tangible puts unwanted pressure on her. When she's uncertain about how she feels, the last thing you want to do is overwhelm her with added expectations. Pressure is the enemy of attraction. When she receives that gift, even if it's something small like a pair of gloves from a well-meaning client of mine, it isn't seen as a thoughtful gesture. To her, it's a box of pressure, pushing her further away when all she needed was space to figure out how she feels. Another misguided reaction is matching her coldness. Some men think they're playing the game by mirroring her behavior. If she's slow to reply, they'll delay their responses too. I've been guilty of this myself in the past, thinking that if I acted distant in return, it would somehow balance things out. But here's the issue. When she eventually reaches out and you immediately jump at the chance to meet up, she knows you were only playing a game. She doesn't think you were genuinely losing interest. She realizes you were just upset by her coldness and trying to mirror it. A more effective approach is this. If she reaches out after a period of distance, don't immediately suggest hanging out. Continue the conversation briefly and then wrap it up without making plans. Resist the urge to jump at the opportunity, because the moment she realizes you're still eager to meet up, she'll see right through the act. Once a woman knows she holds the power and feels like she's in control, it's difficult to maintain any real attraction. That balance of uncertainty is key to keeping her interested. Number 4. Ultimatum. The next big mistake guys make when a woman pulls away is giving her an ultimatum. This can take various forms, like saying, if you don't want to hang out, then maybe we shouldn't see each other. The intention behind it is to reassert control or express frustration, but here's the problem. Ultimatums create pressure, and as we've discussed, pressure is the last thing that works when a woman is pulling away. By giving an ultimatum, you're essentially pushing her further away because you're demanding a decision from her at a time when she's already unsure. She needs space to figure out her feelings, and applying this kind of pressure only makes her want to get away faster. In addition, when you give an ultimatum but don't have the courage to follow through, it destroys any sense of power or attraction. If you give an ultimatum and then still reach out after she doesn't respond or comply, she knows you weren't serious about walking away, and that kills attraction. A woman needs to feel like she could lose you to maintain interest. The minute she knows for sure that she has you, she loses that excitement, which is crucial for attraction. An ultimatum, especially one you won't stand behind, tells her you're not actually willing to walk away, and that's a turnoff. This cycle of ultimatums and backtracking is rooted in a deeper misunderstanding of the psychology of attraction. If you've made these mistakes, it's often because you haven't learned what keeps a woman attracted to you in the first place. I've been in this situation too, where I would confess feelings too early, apologize excessively, or try to win her over with gifts. These mistakes often cause the woman to pull away, not the other way around. To break out of this pattern, I've developed a method I call the scrambler, which I cover in more detail in another video. It's about reversing the dynamic so that she starts chasing you. Women naturally want to chase, not be chased. If you continue with these behaviors, the chase is over and you're pushing her away. Instead, you need to elicit curiosity and uncertainty, which are key factors in attraction. In the video linked below, I dive deep into how to reverse engineer the process of falling in love and stop women from pulling away. Even if you've made some of these mistakes, it's not too late to fix them, but you have to stop now and follow the right steps moving forward. Watch the video for a better understanding of how to get back on track and prevent future issues. Just remember, chasing her only drives her away. She needs to be the one chasing you. Click the link below to learn how to make that happen. Alright, that's it for this video. Now you know why some women pull away from men and what not to do when this happens. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and don't forget to share your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Stoic Approach to Life.